Yo, what's good? What's good? Let's see who's in the stream. Zara, Loic, Joe, undoubtedly so. What's up? What's up? What's up? This guy said team no sleep. Yo, it's the grind. It's the grind. Do you know what it is? So basically, I'm going to Nigeria in 2 weeks. So the part for the next 2 weeks, I'm just gonna like reach out to all the fashion people in Nigeria and stuff like that. So that's basically what I've been doing this whole time. But yeah, team no sleep. Because yeah, when I'm in Nigeria, I really need to document the fashion scene. So I need to make sure that I get in contact with like everyone that I need to get in contact with. So yeah. Hold on, let me change the thumbnail of this live stream because nah, that thumbnail can't run. That's not going to attract people to the live stream. Hold on, how do you do this again? Oh, okay, found it. All right, let me go to the questions. Someone said, "What's your thoughts on American fashion?" Expand. Do you mean American fashion in terms of designers like Hood by Air, Pierre Moss, Tom Ford, or do you mean in terms of style like Bloody O, Ian Connor type thing? What's your opinion of Ronnie, Feig, and Kith? Culturally, Kith is like quite deep rooted in culture. As far as like design wise, I wouldn't look at Kith as like a major like player when it comes to design. I don't know. Question: as someone who studies English, how do you plan on integrating that with fashion? Wait, oh, engineering. Oh, um, you can. Oh, I've talked about this a lot, but basically material science. So the people at Nike that work on like the materials, the teams that form new materials, make new materials for new sneakers and clothing and stuff like that. The people that make dry fit, those are all engineers, not designers. So yeah, material science is like a really big business, and people get paid a lot of money for material science. Trust me. Um, how do you change this thumbnail? What the hell? God damn. Ah, here we are. Here we are. Alright, let's see. Oh, you study I'm guessing that's computer science. This guy said 1st of December, year's nearly over. Yeah, it's crazy. Thoughts on Ian Connor, thoughts on Zach FTP, thoughts on ASAP Bari. Bari is done out here. Ian Connor, I like his style, but like, I think it's overrated, low key. Zach FTP, yeah, I don't really know too much about Zach to be honest. I know what FTP is, like the brand, but not that much. So I'm not gonna like talk about something I don't really know. Do you like Hortland Mode? Why the hell would I not like him? Like, what did Hortland Mode do to me? It's like, I have no reason not to like Hortland Mode. Have you got any books about creative thinking? I'm new subscribers. I haven't seen all your videos yet. In case you mentioned them. Yeah, I have mentioned them before. Basically, message me on Instagram and I'll send you a list of like good books to read, like philosophy wise. Kith has a collab with every single brand that exists. Yeah, facts. What's your take on the Craig Green? Yo, that Craig collab is nice. I like it. I like it. Greetings from Greece. Yo, what's up? Shout out to Greece. So eventually, do you want to start your own brand, or would you be the creative director for a brand? I'm not too sure. Okay, so basically, I've worked for 3 fashion brands now. So I've been, and I was an intern at a brand, women's wear brand called Deploy London. Then I went to Stella McCartney, interned there. Now I'm at a brand called Polones, which is like a new brand. And like, okay, so my boss right now, the creative director of my brand, has worked at like McQueen. She's been a designer at like WORLDWIRDE, like big names. And I work closely with her every day. And it's just like, I don't think I want to be a designer. Like every day I spend with her, it's like, wow, I don't think this is like for me. So I think I'm just going to stick to journalism. I think what's going to happen is later I'm going to go to probably CSM, hopefully, study fashion journalism, and then have my own publication type thing. I think I'm going to go down that route. Because design, I don't think it's for me. This guy said V-Loan is trash. I've been saving all year for the Black Friday Philip lines. Should I cough or drop? Oh my god. Do you think fashion branding is a good degree to study in the future? Like, is it a gate to good paying jobs in fashion? Alright, so in fashion, nothing is like, let me just say the truth of how fashion is. In fashion, nothing is guaranteed. So you could study fashion design, you could study fashion business, you could study whatever. If you don't intern at the right places or have the right connections, when you graduate, you're just going to be on minimum wage, at least here in England. So, like, just if you're going to get into fashion, know what you're doing. Like, make sure you're actually taking steps outside of like your studies to actually enter a good position by the time you graduate. So yeah, that's all I'll say. Fashion is a risky industry. Thoughts on JW Anderson? Big fan of JW Anderson. Not maybe of his recent stuff with like Loewe and his own brand, but before, like, based on stuff he's done before. Yesterday I purchased my first Leon Dore product, one of the best brands out there. I dream of Leon Dore with Polo collab or Supreme with Polo finally. Yeah, that would be quite cool. Your favorite African fashion brand? Oof, African. This question confuses me because it's like, do people who are African but live in London, do they count? Like Moa Lola, those type of people, do they count? Because if they don't, then I'd say like Orange Culture. Orange Culture is probably one of the best African brands. Is Adidas Prada the best collab since under Off-White covers? Oh my days. Those, both of those collabs, terrible, man. Trash. Hot garbage. Straight garbage. Let's see. How long have you been in the industry? I'd say since like 2017. Yeah, since 2017. Since 2017, I've just been like hopping from fashion job to fashion internship to fashion job, like basically. What's the designer you dislike the most or least like? Rihanna. She's not even a designer though, but Rihanna. And I don't dislike her as a person. It's just like from a fashion perspective, because people think she's some like design god. It's like, no, like, stop it. How to build a strong fashion portfolio. Don't sleep. Like, work. Like, just do everything. You have to. The more skills you have in fashion, the better. Like, even the job I got. So basically, remember, I didn't study fashion. I don't have a fashion degree, but I got it over people that have fashion degrees because my skills are so varied. Like, I'm going there to do like partially a design role, but at the same time, I'm good with Photoshop, Premiere Pro, After Effects, good with cameras, photography, videography. So like, oof, he has a bit too many skills. Or rather take him over someone who's more experienced in fashion. So that's what I'll say. Just have as many skills as you can. Um, what do you think helped your channel grow so much in general? Um, Wait, hold on. Let me go and check. Because you know what? It's hard for me to like. So my friends were saying this the other day, like, yo, your channel's grown so much. But to me, because I see the number every day, I don't realize it. But yeah, let me see what my most viewed videos are. And then maybe I can comment on that. So, let's see. See, my videos don't even get that many views. I don't know. I don't know. I guess it's the fashion history videos. At least, so the people I meet in real life that have like seen my videos, like I'll go to Fashion Week and like some people say they see my videos. It's always something to do with fashion history, and it's always along the lines of. So I've had one fashion design student who saw my video because of the Andy Millamista video I made, and she was like studying Andy Millamista. Then there's been 3 people who have said they were doing research on Vivienne Westwood. So they found my Vivienne Westwood history video and they like said it helped them. I think it's those type of videos that helped my channel grow. I wouldn't say it's like that big though. But yeah. This guy said break down the stream fit. Bro, I'm in my cozies. I'm wearing a hoodie and sweatpants. Thoughts on Bliss Foster? Bliss Foster's like, he needs to be protected at all costs. Bliss Foster's like one of the best fashion YouTubers, if not the best right now. Like his Margiela series, it can't be matched by anyone. I'd say that the top fashion YouTubers, and I'm not saying fashion as a broad term, I mean like fashion commentary, like people that talk about fashion shows and stuff, is Bliss Foster and Haute Le Mode. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Bliss. What do you say? Yeah, I'm literally 16, so I'm like doing a fashion level course. But like next year, I'm doing a fashion design foundation year, then uni. But I don't know what fashion degree I want to do. Yeah, see, that's the thing because for me, I've always been torn for years now. I've been like, do I want to study fashion design? Do I want to study journalism? Do I want to study fashion design? Do I want to do journalism? And then after working in the industry for long enough, now I've decided, yeah, I'm not a designer. Like, it's not my calling. Like, there's no point forcing it. Like, not everyone can be a good designer. That's just facts. And what I'm good at is journalism. Like, it's kind of what I do on YouTube as well. So it just makes sense to, you know, like, go the journalism route, have my own independent kind of like publication. Maybe not publication, not that big, but like magazine and stuff. What's the best entry fashion book to read? Oof. Yeah, message me on Instagram. There's so many. There's so many. He said, did I cut my hair? No, I haven't. I didn't cut my hair. Who do you think are the best dressed influencers? Okay, I'm live streaming my phone. I don't know why I was looking for my phone. But there's influencers I follow. Wait, let me go through my Instagram real quick on my laptop. Because I don't actually follow mainstream influencers. It's not even me trying to be edgy. It's just like, it's a coincidence. But people that you would know is like people like Avery. I like Avery's style. Sanjeev, of course. Sai Rucker. I'm not sure if you guys know who that is. Um, who else? Who else? Daniel Simmons has kind of more like a minimalistic style, but I still like it, like silhouette wise. Who else would you guys know? Yeah, that's about it. I think the rest are like is like more women's wear type influencers. I follow more females than I follow males for like style inspiration. Um, he said, "Why don't you want to be a designer?" It's just not. It's not me. Like I've just realized, I'm not. I don't feel like I. What's the word? What's the right words? I don't feel like I'm. I have the intangibles to be a designer. He said, "I'm mad Chelsea lost to West Ham." Same, bro. Same. Same. Hey, I really discovered some really nice skateboard brands. Hookups, Reservoir Awards. Do you know anything similar to these brands or what it is? No, I don't really. Unfortunately, I don't. Um, Unknown vlogs. To be fair, I don't like follow unknown vlogs. So I don't know. Like, I don't see his outfits and stuff, so I wouldn't know. But from what I do know, um, his style is like nice. Yeah, he has good style. Like I have my opinions on like the type of content he makes and stuff like that, but style wise, yeah, he dresses quite nicely. Yo, Greg, I forgot Greg. Yo, Greg has an amazing style. Greg and Tor. Um, he's a Instagram guy and he's a YouTuber. I think he works for Essence. That's why he's based in Canada. But yeah, he has really nice style. Um, do you think for one to get into fashion, not necessarily an influencer or designer, you have to be active on social media? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. I feel like yeah, I feel like if maybe if you want to do what I'm gonna do, because I'm like I want to get more into the journalism side of things, then you do need a following because like if I release my own publication and I'm selling magazines for like £5 each, then if you don't have an audience, it's not gonna sell. It's just facts. But if you're a designer, you don't need to be that active on social media. You can like go the long way where you gain publicity through traditional press. So like go to CSM, show at the graduate show, then you're being covered by Vogue, and then you're being interviewed by W Magazine and Days, and then people find out about you that way. Or you can like do the whole get big on social media first and then design after. There's not really one route type of thing. This guy says come to New York. Yo, literally, I actually need to come to. Do you know the last time I went to New York was like I must have been like 5 years old. So it's a long time coming, and like obviously New York is like one of the meccas for fashion. So I'm planning to go there at some point. This guy said unknown vlogs is corny. Maybe a little bit. VJ Borelli, yeah, Enzo. I like Enzo's style as well. I like his style. Your thoughts on Damner leaving Vetements? I kind of predicted that, didn't I? I think he's just tired of it. Like, I have more thoughts on it, but I don't want to, like, go on and on. He's a stylist at Essence. Okay. Because, yeah, I knew Greg worked for Essence, but I didn't know what exactly he did. What are the best ways to find an internship? I'm a freshman in uni, so I don't have a portfolio yet. Just apply. Apply, literally. Like, the job I have now, I applied for it. The other two were, like, just by luck, but this one I actually applied for it. So, yeah. Pieces that you silently judge people for using them. Do you mean, like, fashion pieces? Should show notes be public interest? No. No. So, okay, here's my thoughts on, like, show notes and fashion shows and all that stuff. I like the fact, okay, I know a lot of people disagree with me, but I like the fact that part of fashion is inaccessible. Because what happens is there's something to aspire to. So, like, someone like me, when I was younger and I was first got into fashion, it was impossible to get into fashion shows. And, like, show notes were impossible to get because I didn't know anyone that did go to fashion shows. So now that I kind of have like a foot in the industry, it's easy for me to like go to Fashion Week and stuff. There's like I know so many people that go to the shows. I can get all the show notes I want. Like I appreciate it more because there was a time when I couldn't, and I think now fashion's getting too accessible to the point where like I feel like people won't appreciate fashion the way kind of like I did. But yeah, that's just how I feel. Um, what do you think about Panboy's work? I like Panboy. I like it. I think he has his own magazine as well. It's called Screenshot. Who's your favorite designer that never went to design school? Ray Kawakubo. How do you find fashion shows where you live? Well, I live in London, so it's not hard. Like, we have Fashion Week. It's not really too hard. He said everybody dresses like thrifters now in New York. Nah, not everyone. That's a bit of an overstatement. Like, some of the guys I follow on Instagram, like from New York, and I love their styles. I don't think you need social media, but the internet exposes way more people to it, including me, and it's a great source of information. Yeah, facts. I heard you said one time that you don't like people starting off with t-shirts for their brands. Can you explain? Because I have friends that I think are doing well for themselves. Um, Honestly, so there's nothing wrong with having a t-shirt brand. It just depends on where you're trying to position yourself. So if you're like a brand rooted on culture, then a t-shirt brand is fine. Like in Nigeria, that I'm going to in 2 weeks, there's brands like Our Motherland, which is a skate brand. So they're not like trying to be a Dior. They're not trying to be a runway brand. It's a streetwear brand. It's a skateboarding brand. So really, those t-shirts are like merch kind of thing. So that's like cool. But if you're like trying to get into the high end space and then you're making t-shirts, it just like doesn't add up. So that's the issue I have. Anyone can make a t-shirt brand. That's fine. It's more when certain people try to position themselves in certain places and then you look at what they make and it's like t-shirts. It's like, bro. Like, bruh. Let's see. Fashion pieces, clothes, shoes, etc. Like specific pieces, example, black Air Force Ones. Okay, so American fashion compared to British fashion, I feel like in America the average person is dresses horrifically compared to like the UK, but I feel like the fashionable people in America, for a lot of like let's say in places like New York, definitely they're more daring than people here. So I'd say in terms of American fashion, Americans are better at the top end, but the average person, my word. Like I was in America 2 summers ago. I went to Las Vegas, San Francisco, LA, Arizona, and like another place in California. I can't remember. It was like near Sequoia, but yeah, people dress so bad, so terribly. Like, oof, it was bad. What are your thoughts on Stefan Cook? Yeah, I love Stefan Cook. I think have I talked about Stefan Cook before on this channel? I think I have. How do I build a high fashion brand right after my private courses finish? Um, Try to build a following. Um, Start making stuff now. Like never wait. If you want to be a fashion designer, you have to always be making things. Like there's no, like a lot of people want to get into design. And they're like, oh, how do I get into design? Just start making stuff. He said, I actually love Demna's Balenciaga stuff, but I hate Vetements, so I don't know, I'm leaving it. Fair enough. What do you think about body positivity, aka plus size models on runway shows? It depends on what plus size is. So there's like plus size where the body's actually normal, healthy bodies, which I appreciate because a lot of models that are size zeros, that's not even healthy. Like some models are like underweight, like anorexic, so it's bad. So in the UK, we have like size 6, 8, 10, 12. If most models, so what you're calling a plus size model is like a 8, 10, 12, then that's fine. But like this rise of like just people that are just obese and overweight, sorry, but yeah. Like people, it's a fashion brand. It's not like a charity. So you can't be pushing people who are just like genuinely, what's the word? Like generically unattractive. Sorry. Best fashion brands of 2019. I've not actually had time to sit about this. Who had the best year in 2019? I don't know, you know. The brand I've enjoyed the most is Anne Rillage, but obviously they're not gonna win best brand of 2019. No way. Are there any designer brands based out of Africa? Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. Or check out Orange Culture. Is it Orange Culture or Orange Couture? Wait, hold on. Let me get to the bottom of this. Orange Culture. Yeah, Orange Culture. But Balenciaga men's is basically Martine Rose. Yeah, it is. It is. She said, British people just bent. If I see another Nitty and Sazengas and a fake Stony. Oh my god. Any predictions / favourites in winning the British Fashion Awards? Do you think Craig Green will win again this year as Menswear Designer of the Year? Hold on, let me go through the nominees because I can't remember like all the nominations. Hold on, because it's soon, isn't it? It's tomorrow. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna have to make a video on that, aren't I? I might react to the winners. But let's see. So brand of the years between Bottega Veneta, Gucci, Jacquemus, Loewe, and Prada. Oof, I feel like Bottega's gonna win that because everyone's so obsessed with Daniel Lee. Like I don't know why. It's either Bottega or Gucci. Jacquemus is definitely not winning unless like there's just some young person who's choosing the winner. Loewe, I don't see how they're gonna win over like Jacquemus, Gucci, or Bottega Veneta. Prada, they've started a lot of trends, but Prada never gets the credit it's due, so I don't think anything's going to change. British Designer of the Year for menswear. So Craig Green, Wales Bonner, Kim Jones, Martine Rose, Riccardo Tisci. Riccardo Tisci just like, yeah, no. Martine Rose, Kim Jones, Grace Wales Bonner, Craig Green. Oof, Kim Jones has to win that. Yeah, Kim Jones has to win that. Craig Green is amazing as well, but all his collections are like getting too similar now. Let's see. British Designer of the Year for Women's Wear. Daniel Lee for Bottega Veneta. John Galliano for Maison Margiela. Jonathan Anderson for J.W. Anderson and Loewe. Richard Quinn for Richard Quinn and Simone Rocha for Simone Rocha. Yeah, John Galliano or Daniel Lee is going to win that. I'd say Daniel Lee once again because I think people are obsessed with Daniel Lee. British Emerging Talent for Menswear. So Ben Cottrell and Matthew Dainty for Cottweiler, Bethany Williams for Bethany Williams, Kiko Kostadnov, Kiko, Phoebe English for Phoebe, and Sophia for Aries. Kiko's gonna win that. Like, yeah, Kiko, that's a no contest. Cottweiler, Bethany Williams, Kiko, Phoebe English, or yeah, Kiko's gonna win that. British Emerging Talent for Women's Wear. Laura and Dana Fanning. Oh, yeah. Matty Bovan had a good show this year. Phoebe English. Oof, that's tough. Oof. I feel like Laura. Ooh, or Matty Bovan. That's tough. I might have to come back to that. I feel like Matty. No, I don't, will Matty win that? I feel like Laura and Diana Fanning are going to win that for Kiko. Because Kiko Women's Wear, to be fair, has been quite nice. Business Leader. Is this even an award? Business Leader, what the hell? Alexandre Arnold for Rimowa, Farfetch, the owner of Gucci, owner of Burberry. Yeah, it's going to be Remo Ruffini, the owner of Moncler, because Moncler Genius, like... Let's see. Designer of the Year. Alessandro Michele, Daniel Lee, J.W. Anderson, Kim Jones, or Miuccia Prada. God damn. Daniel Lee's dominating these categories. Let's see. Design of the year: Daniel Lee, Alessandro Michele, Jonathan Anderson, Kim Jones, Mucha Prada. Yeah, Kim Jones is gonna win that. I feel like in the mainstream, like your average person respects Kim Jones over like Mucha, JW Anderson, Daniel Lee, Alessandro Michele. If I was the one choosing the award, Mucha Prada would win. But yeah, going off what I think other people think. Model of the year: Adut, Akech, Adesua, Adwoa, Boa, Kaya Gerber, Winnie Harlow. I haven't seen Winnie Harlow much, so we can just push her out. Kaya Gerber, Adwoa Boa as well. I haven't really seen her much. I'd say Adut is probably going to win, or Adesua. Or Kaya Gerber's like more popular, but she's not really done that much. I'd say Adut Akech is probably going to win. Urban Lux, I've already talked about. I made a whole video on this. I think it's going to be Moncler Genius. How many awards? Designer's Designer. Christopher Kane, J.W. Anderson, Margaret Howell, Simone Rocha, Roxanda. I'd say J.W. Anderson's probably Designer's Designer. Yeah, that's my thoughts on the awards. That was kind of long. Let's see. Whew. San Francisco is so bummy, bunch of tech nerds. That's jokes. You know, when I went to San Francisco, I actually I went to like, what do they call that place that where Facebook and all that stuff is? Silicon Valley. Yeah, I went there. What would you say are the best London fashion schools apart from the obvious CSM? Oh, there's a lot here. So we have Goldsmiths, Royal College of Art, Westminster, University of Westminster. Where else is like a good fashion school in London? There's quite a few though. I'm just forgetting. But yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. Favorite season of the year in terms of clothing styles: winter, 100%. This guy said, "Don't worry, man. I'm a beast and I get it." Hi, new to your channel. Yo, what's up? What is your best quality in the fashion world? What do you mean by like best quality? I'm a beast as well. I do think that decent basics should be available, but that's not haute couture. Oh, okay. So, basically, what the question that the person asked me was, what do you think about people that are overweight being on the runway? Now, there should be clothes for every size of person, but I feel like on the runway is where you're displaying clothes. And I feel like, do you really want to have obese people like displaying your clothes? I don't know. It's just a thought. It sounds mean, but like, if you're just thinking logically, like no feelings involved, like I wouldn't even walk on a runway. It's just like it's just being realistic. I have knock knees, so imagine I was to walk on a runway. I'd look like it look terrible. Like I wouldn't. What's the word? I wouldn't represent someone's clothing as beautiful as it should look, because I don't walk properly. So same reason. I feel like when I first started coming up in fashion, it was like actually difficult to be a model. I still feel like it should be difficult to be a model. If everyone can be a model, then like what's the point? This guy said even models get awards. Yeah. Number of hours you spend doing the resources. Okay, so it depends. So some videos, it genuinely takes me a day to make, and some videos it takes me a month. So like the video I dropped that was about like Moncler Genius, like the urban luxe category. That took me like a month to write the whole script. But what I normally do is like, even though I know I'm gonna work on a video for a month, I'll like make videos in between as I'm going. So like literally when what's the word? So like now for example, I'm working on a video like who is Andy Lamista, but I know that's gonna take forever. So I'm making videos in between, but I'm on the side still making this Andy Lamista script. So yeah, that's how long some of this stuff takes. Longer than you think. Because you guys just see like the finished product, like 20 minutes of me talking. Do short men models exist? No, I don't think so. Modeling is hard work. Yeah, it is hard work. Do you love Koji Radical? Yeah. And Koji Radical, oh my god, I love his style. His style is sick. His style is lit. If you could choose one designer that has passed away who you could bring back, who would you choose? Alexander McQueen, 100%. FKA Twigs, I don't really know too much about her. Like, I never really followed her. I know who she is, though. Laura says, I understand. Yeah, I feel like it's more, it sounds less, what's the word? Like I'm being mean when I talk about myself, because like I have knock knees as well. So it's like, it's that same logic. Like to be a model, you have to hit the genetic lottery. Like not everyone can be a model. That's just facts. I can't be a model as well because I have knock knees. I didn't hit the genetic lottery. I don't walk like a normal person. It's the same thing. Wait, hold on. To be fair, I'm supposed to be writing a script, but yeah, we'll get to that later. Do you think Lizzo should be on the runway? No. Quality being what makes fashion your passion. I just feel like fashion influences everything we do, and it's also interesting how like a lot of people look down upon fashion. They think fashion is like really superficial, but those same people, a lot of them, their fashion choices are like deeply considered and stuff like that. It's just crazy. Like fashion influences everything, but people just don't realize it. Because ultimately, everyone wears clothes, so fashion involves everyone, whether you like it or not. Sky said, "Does the sea have a runway?" Said, "Stop talking about your knees. I watched your video today, and you did it there too." I think people have a misconception that overweight equals obese. Overweight is literally what the name implies, over the normal weight, where you should not be concerned about. Yeah, facts. What'd she say? And I agree about not everyone being a model. This guy said Lizzo is trash. Okay, I wouldn't say Lizzo is trash. Lizzo is a good singer. Being overweight is a precautionary measure to not go past that weight range. Yeah, facts. What music do you listen to? That's a broad question because I listen to everything. Jazz, hip hop, African music like Afro beats, reggae, UK drill, American drill, garage, house, techno. I listen to everything. Check FK Twigs out. Was at her show this week. She's an alien. Like I know who she is. She's been in one of my vlogs. Like I know who she is. I just haven't listened to her music before. Man, what time is it over there? It's 13 minutes to 2 a.m. Thoughts on golf wearing? Tyler is a music genius, but do you think he can make good clothing? Yeah, I like his clothing. Once again, he doesn't market himself as like trying to be the next Prada. That's the thing. So for what he markets himself, I can't even speak. For what Tyler the Creator markets himself as, I really like it. Hyder or Rick fanboy is more annoying. Rick fanboys are the worst. They're the worst. Hyder fanboys aren't bad. It's Rick fanboys. They're terrible. FK Twig's last album was a bust. Was it? How do you manage the time between everything? Honestly, I don't know. Maybe I just don't sleep. I have no idea. The only Hyder fanboys are rich people and Sanjeev. Every other alternative kid that heard Peso by A$AP Rocky is a Rick boy. That's jokes. Sanjeev's loves himself some Hyder. Yeah, facts. Sanjeev loves Hyder Ackerman. Favorite fashion photographers? Oh, I don't know a lot of them by name. I like follow them on Instagram, but off the top of my head, Jürgen Teller and Nick Knight off the top of my head. He said, I understand what you're saying about weight, but I was anorexic when I was in my teens and I'm really clinically obese. Define clinically obese though. Rick, Greedy, or CCP Stan are the worst. Okay, out of Rick, Greedy, and CCP, Greedy are not that bad. Actually, no. I think the type of people that wear CCP also wear Greedy, so they're both as bad as each other. CCP is just like the worst of the worst. Rick is bad, but not like CCP bad. Like the type of person who like only wears CCP believes that like if you don't know what CCP is, like you have no business even talking about fashion. He said, "Peace, guys. Keep up the great work. Thanks for tuning in." Sungmin Park says, "Thoughts on Chrome Hearts?" I don't know too much about Chrome Hearts. A lot of people have asked me this question like previous live streams. What is wrong with me? I can't talk today. But yeah, I don't know much about Chrome Hearts. Literally, all I know about Chrome Hearts is one of their logos is a cross. They make jewelry and clothing. That's avant-garde, and it's mainly based out in America. That's literally what I know about Chrome. And I've seen other people wear it. I haven't really looked into Chrome Hearts. I don't know much about it. Like, the time will come when, let's say, I want to make a video on it or something. I'll probably look into it. But for now, yeah, I don't know. You said you want to be a fashion journalist. What do you think about the state of fashion journalism? I kind of made a video on it. That's kind of one of the big reasons I want to be a journalist, because I feel like journalism right now has gone down the shitter. So yeah, everyone's just trying to appease people. Gosh. How do you view Craig and Kiko fanboys? Craig and Kiko fanboys are fine. Kiko worse than Craig, of course, but yeah. What is CCP? So CCP stands for Carol Christian Powell, and it's just like an avant-garde brand, basically. That's basically what it is. Chrome Hearts is the bling for on France Rich the Prime. That's jokes. Last piece I bought, a Rick Owens jacket. Am I the only one that finds nothing appealing from Craig aside from the puffers and the workwear jacket? No. Craig, for example, the trousers are really amazing. The trousers are really nice. His collabs, like footwear wise, Craig Green, really nice. And apart from like the jackets, the workwear jackets and the puffers and stuff, like there's loads of stuff like the ghost shirts and there's a lot. Yeah, I'll definitely say there's more appealing stuff to Craig than just puffers and the workwear jacket. This is probably my most active stream I've ever had. 46 people watching. Mum, I made it. 46 people on the live stream. That's crazy. I'm not sure how many of you are like OGs, but there was a time I used to like live stream every week or like almost every day. And I had like a full-on like live streaming gang of like 20 something people who used to tune in every night. That was dope. Favorite underrated brands. Dao Yang Ding, of course, made a video on him. Let's see, underrated brands. Starts Ballet. I feel like Starts Ballet is very underrated because it's like Avery and because he's like a YouTuber, but yeah, that's really underrated as well. Yeah, I can't think off the top of my head, but if I remember, I'll tell you. What size are you, and is it easy to find stuff for you? No, it's really hard to find stuff for me. So basically, I'm 6'3", but there's like different types of 6'3". If I was like more proportioned, it would be fine, but I have like really long legs, a small torso, and then really long arms. So when I buy jackets, the sleeves are always short. So what I have to do is either like get something really oversized that will be like way too long just so it can fit my sleeves, or like get something that has elongated sleeves but then it'll be cropped type thing. And then trousers is just impossible. Like it's basically impossible to find trousers for me, and that's why I don't. It's limited my style so much because there's so many designer brands like whose trousers I would buy, but they just don't fit. Um, Hold on. What? I feel so deeply sorry for your sensory numbness. Wait, what happened? Who did she at? Brandon Knight. Oh, FKA Twigs. That's jokes. Wait, someone said my clock is loud. All right, hold on. Let me move it. Hold on 1 second. Back. So yeah. Hold on. This guy said, "Am I the only subscriber from Brazil?" No, you're not. I actually know someone who like watches his channel from Brazil. Um, how to proceed being interested in fashion in a place that virtually has a non-existent fashion scene. By the way, it is a really big city, Sao Paulo, Brazil, but people here don't give a fuck about fashion. So for example, so the person who I know who's like from Brazil, he says there's a brand. I'll type it in the description called Piet. That's like really well known in Brazil, and I feel like there's like other brands as well that are like coming up. Um, but yeah, still on the rise. But if you're in a country where there isn't that much fashion, it means you can be a pioneer. That's kind of a good thing in a way, isn't it? Um, do you own any Chinese brands like Ziggy Chen or Uma Wang? So I don't know too much about Uma Wang. Is that how you pronounce it? But I've seen it around. Ziggy Chen, I'm a huge fan of. I don't have any Ziggy Chen pieces yet, but I've been looking. And I have a friend who wears a lot of Ziggy Chen, like a lot. He said, "Laura, I can't relate to being anorexic. I'm sorry you went through that. It used to be extremely heavy throughout my childhood, which brought me to multiple health problems, and also have most of my family. Be obese/overweight, have multiple health problems due to their weight." Yeah, for me, like, um, a lot of people in my family, like, are diabetic, so I think my bloodline is prone to diabetes, which is more of a reason why I always, like, I take my health seriously. I'm trying to stop buying from fast fashion brands after learning about them. So being a uni student that's broke, how can I shop? Like, how do you shop, and from where? This is gonna sound really arrogant. I honestly don't mean to like sound like this, but basically, when I couldn't afford high-end clothing, it was stuff like eBay, like eBay auctions and stuff. You can find crazy stuff on eBay for like crazy prices. Yahoo auctions, Grailed, Depop. Those are where I was buying loads of stuff, and I'd just like price people down and then get steals and stuff. Now, I don't really have that problem because like financially, I don't really like buying stuff is not as much as an issue as it used to be. And that has nothing to do with YouTube, by the way. If people think YouTube has made me rich, like, no, I barely earn money from YouTube. It's more like the stuff I'm doing outside. But yeah, I'd say Grailed, Depop, Yahoo Auctions, eBay, Facebook groups. That's a big one. Yeah. Nothing wrong with being overweight, but crossing the threshold to being obese is concern for physical health. Yeah, facts. Did you ever think about Junj if you want long sleeves? He's pretty cheap because he's not that big. I didn't even know that they catered to like longer sleeves. I didn't know that. If you take a look at your closet, what would the color palette look like? Black. Black. Like just straight black. He said, haha, that was not necessary, but thanks, love. I'm a man of the people. Um, he said, Is that how you say it? Is it Piet or Payet? He said Payet is nice, but they have copied things from other brands. Oh, okay, fair enough, fair enough. Um, I don't know how you're so sharp this late, but I'm off because I'm literally nodding off. Bro, I'm a night owl. Like I'm like literally the most productive at night. I don't know why. What shoes to buy now? Shoes looking kind of damn dead. ATM sneakers mainly. Um, I don't know because like the things I've been looking at recently are more like boots rather than sneakers. Um, but yeah, sneakers. Yeah, I don't. Sneakers right now are not looking too promising, to be honest. There's not really been too many sneakers I've been looking at. Yeah, I'm more of a boots person. Yeah, this person said buy boots. Yeah. If you wanted me to recommend boots, I can do that all day. But like sneakers, I don't know. The sneakers I normally buy are just like I'll just be like on the Nike app, and then let's say they release something new that I like. I'll be like, ah. Thoughts on Li Ning? I like their Rider Ace 1.5 sneaker. Yo, I've been looking into Li Ning sneakers actually, and I love that no one in the UK buys them. So like when I wear them, like I'm not gonna be like copying anyone else. So I know someone, from China, who wears Li Ning a lot, like the sneakers. You can even, she told me you can buy them at Offspring in Selfridges. So yeah, I've been looking into that. Like I'm definitely gonna pick up a pair soon. Yeah, Li Ning is on point. So underrated. Slept on because it's Chinese. I feel like. Thoughts on Sugar Coke slides? Now they're kind of boring. Yeah, they're kind of done out here. I said, yeah, I'm switching from sneakers to boots. I was mainly on Triple S J1 track sneakers, but I started buying boots because sneakers lately not looking too good. Yeah, facts. And I wouldn't say I'm going away from sneakers. Like I think I'll always be like a sneaker kind of guy, but yeah, I'm definitely getting more into boots now. Dipping in and out, just saying hi. It's been a long week after hospital placement. Yo, shout out to this guy. He's like a medical student. He said, "Remember when you had less than 10 people here?" Yeah, facts, bro. I'm looking at the live stream numbers now at 47. I can't believe it. 47 people on the live stream. That's crazy. When you pulling up to New York? Everyone's been asking this. Trust me, I'll round some money together, and I'll come to New York. What do you think about UGG boots, and why do you think they're not a guy's thing? They're literally unisex. I would wear Uggs personally. I kind of like them. They're not a guy's thing because I think they people only see women wearing them, and a lot of men don't have the confidence to wear something that other men don't wear. Yeah, so that's just how it is. Um, do you find yourself outside the zone slash alienated if you are dressed more avant-gardist than those in your city? At first, like, because of the way I dress, sometimes I get like strange looks. However, I think let's say it's not in my head because people still look at me funny, but like, I think it was more, at first, it was more like, oh, everyone's looking at me strange, and then I'll be uncomfortable, whereas now I actually don't care. So I think now that I don't care, people don't care as well. People don't see it as much of an issue because people are like, oh, yeah, he just seems confident. Tom Brady wears Uggs. He said the silhouette is quite feminine. Yeah, kind of, kind of. Man like Alex Zavaios. Alex Zavaios. You don't know anything about fashion if you don't like off-white. That's jokes. I always associate Uggs with boots with the fur. Yo. Man like Alex. Yo, Alex, you know if you want to hop on this live stream, I have to end it and then switch to my webcam. Which is unfortunate because my webcam quality is horrific. But that means we can bring Alex onto the live stream, so You can't have your cake and eat it. How to stay fashionable in winter? I always struggle with my boot, trousers, zipped up jacket, scarf look, feeling like an undertaker over here. It depends how cold your country is. Like England is cold, but not that like -2 degrees in the grand scheme of things is not that cold. So it depends. That's the first thing I'll say. But it's quite. I feel like once you have the ability to layer, it's like so easy to stay fashionable in the winter. He said not that cold. Come to Newcastle, bro. But I'm literally I've been in Leeds for how long, and Leeds is like beside Newcastle, so it can't be that different. How do you rate Bliss Foster? Someone asked this earlier, but yeah, Bliss Foster's he needs to be protected at all costs, is what I said. He's like amazing. I love everything he does, every video he makes. Um, he said it's like -10 to -20 here. What do you guys use though? Because we use Celsius. Because I know like Americans use Fahrenheit. He said, no, I'm from Sheffield and that's near Leeds. Yeah, exactly. So it can't be that cold. How do you feel about Elise? Being from America, I love their pieces, especially the archives, but I find that a lot of people from Europe don't care for it. Okay, so basically the reason why people here don't like it is because like so in England there's like different stores. Like so there's Sports Direct, which is like what can I do? What's the like American equivalent of Sports Direct? Like Ross. Sports Direct is like they sell sports equipment and stuff, but it's basically like Ross. And then there's JD Sports, which is like a step up. JD Sports is like what can I compare it to in America? JD Sports is like just like one below Foot Locker. So that would be there's something in America I'm forgetting. There's a store you guys have for sneakers in America. Not even Champs, it's something else. Oh, what's it called? What's it called? Dick's Sporting Goods. Yeah. So that's JD Sports. So JD Sports stocks Elise and like Elise, those type of brands. So to us, like anything that stocks in like JD is like no. Wait, hold on. So this person says also Celsius. I live in Switzerland. Is Switzerland that cold? -20. What? Said we getting 20 inches of snow in New York. Yeah, that's crazy. Thoughts on Diesel, A Cold Wall? I talked about the collab in like an old video I made when I reviewed the A Cold Wall Spring Summer 2020 show. But yeah, I like the collab. If you want to see like deeper views on that, then just watch the video. Shameless plug. Do you like fashion vlog channels like Ken Ijima or Gizmo? I like Ken's videos. I love his videos. Who's Gizmo? Who's that? Let me check this person out. Gizmo. Who is this? This is not a vlogger. This is like a musician. I must have the wrong person. Wait, hold on. Gizmo. Let's see. Gizmo. I can't find that person. For action. You are 53. Lack of inspiration these days, and it frustrates me because I have a limited time for a school project. I'm a fashion design student, by the way. Any advice, please? Lack of inspiration in terms of what? Because you can get inspiration from many different things. I don't want to like do your job for you, but if you're having problems, then message me on Instagram and I can like give you ideas. Thoughts on Boris Bajan, Saberi, Solomons? I love them. I love them. Like, I want. It's because like I'm not rich yet. So like when I get there, hopefully, fingers crossed, all the Bambas, ones, twos, and threes, I'm just gonna get like all colorways. Like I'm not even joking. I love all the 11 stuff with Salmon. Gizmo the goat. All right. So let's see. Gizmo the goat. What? So he does Japan as well. That's pretty cool. Never heard of this person. Let's see what type of content they make. But if this person vlogged in Japan, there's like, I kind of have Ken for that already, don't I? But I'll check him out. Gizmo Tokyo Fashion, interesting. I'll subscribe. Alright, so I live rather high up, also need waterproof shoes due to the snow here, kinda sucks, that's crazy. How do you think of Fear of God sick? To be fair, I don't follow Fear of God. I don't even know what's going on with the brand, to be honest, so you would have to educate me on that. I'm going to go underground for the subway summer. Peace out for like 20 minutes. Yo, man. Thanks for popping in. This guy said not rich yet. Yeah, because I'm not. I'm not rich. Like, I'm not even rich in any way. But everyone wants to be rich. If I was rich, I'll do a lot of things. Will you get some CCP? No. Like, there's nothing wrong with CCP. I like CCP. There's just a lot of things I would buy before I'd buy CCP. So, which Belgian fashion designer should I make a video on next? Probably make one on Andy Millamista. I'm gonna make one on her as well, but like not many people cover her. The most covered Belgian designers are Walter van Beirendonck and Dries van Noten. I feel like Walter van Beirendonck is even covered more than Dries van Noten. So yeah. Cover Andy. Are you shopping at Black Friday? Not really. I bought like £3,000 worth of camera equipment, and that was my Black Friday shopping. I bought like a Rick Owens jacket, but that wasn't really Black Friday. That was at the Dover Street Market private sale, and it was like 40% off. So yeah, it was a no-brainer. Let's see. How do you view the direction that Undercover is going with all these collabs and stuff? Some collabs are good, some collabs aren't. Like, I like the Valentino collab, but that was just so overpriced. And then the Off-White collab was just hideous. That was just terrible. Thoughts on Cottweiler? I'm a big fan of Cottweiler. One of my friends, he actually designed... He was on the design team for Cottweiler's last collection. So yeah, big fan of Cottweiler, and I know a lot about it because my friend like works there. What are the most overpriced big fashion brands in your opinion? Chanel for one. I will never be caught dead. I would never buy Chanel for anyone. It's just so overpriced. Doesn't even make sense. What else is overpriced? I think it's just Chanel. Like, everyone else is like reasonable. Like, Hermes is not really overpriced because it's like Hermes, and it's like the leather they use, sorry, is like actually legit. Chanel, they make like, they don't like Chanel jewelry, right? Is like not even made with like real gold or like real silver. It's like costume jewelry. Literally like just some coated trash, and then they'll sell it for like 400. Like, what? But then that's up to people to like realize what they're buying. Like, you, as a consumer, you have to know what is like a gimmick and what isn't. So yeah, you don't always get what you pay for. That's what I'll say. Thoughts on Charles Jeffrey Loverboy? Big fan of Charles Jeffrey. Someone who, I'll tell you guys, if you guys go subscribe to this channel or check this guy out who I just commented, he wears a lot of Charles Jeffrey Loverboy. But yeah, I love it. I love it. Especially like he has these designs that are like tartan, like the tartan print jackets and trousers and stuff. I really like that. Oh yeah, by the way, so I'm not sure when you guys join this live stream, but basically I'm going to Nigeria in 2 weeks. So I need to know, because I have a personal channel, and I'm gonna, like, for the most part, vlog when I'm in Nigeria and post it on my personal channel. But if you guys want any specific fashion content for me to film when I'm out there, then let me know so I can write it down. Because I genuinely don't think this is a fashion channel. I don't think people want, like, to see random vlogs of me in Nigeria. Currently writing this from Rizzo, but I wouldn't really consider me as rich. Can you say what you think about Dior? Slander is welcome. Dior men's wear is good. Dior women's wear is awful. That's basically what I think about Dior in a very summarized way. She says, hey, yo, what's up? Yo, do you know something I've noticed? I've noticed more and more women have followed me. I remember at the start of my channel it was only men. I wonder what videos, like, if you're a woman, tell me what video you watched that brought you to this channel, because that's kind of interesting. Can you ask Nigerians what they think about the Dior line? Actually, that's a good idea. I'll write that down. Ask Nigerians. That's a pretty cool idea. Let's see. Check out some local fabrics there. Okay, that's another good idea. Check out Nigerian fabrics. To be fair, when I go to Nigeria, because once again, trousers are so hard for me to find, and in Nigeria they have amazing tailors that are so cheap, like compared to England. So I'm just gonna, like, buy a lot of fabric, take it to Nigeria, and get loads of, like, stuff made, like trousers and shorts and stuff, like how I want it, like wide trousers, boxy shorts and stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. Let's see. Thoughts on girls' fast fashion oversized blazers? I think they generally look so cheap and awful. Yeah, they look terrible. I can't stand it. But yeah, the neon coloured ones. Oh my gosh. Men's skirts are going to be the next big thing in fashion, mark my word. Maybe. About to go to a class to learn how to sew. Wish me luck. Good luck, bro. He said, bro, not to alarm you or anything, but all I see are eyes, are teeth, and teeth. That's jokes. That's jokes. Yo, if you could choose a childhood series / comic to make a collab with, which one would it be? Probably... What did I watch in my childhood? I was like, my childhood I used to watch, like, Digimon, Beyblades, Yu-Gi-Oh! It'll probably be like a collab with, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Or something like that. You'll just have, like, a t-shirt with Blue Eyes the White Dragon printed on it. Or Dark Magician. If you're forced to get fashion-related tattoo, it has to be obvious that it's fashion designer related. What do you get? I would get a portrait of Andy Milamista. Oh, I think the reason is because Andy Milamista is the reason I'm so interested in fashion, and also she's my favorite designer. So, also maybe look at Karen Britchick. She does what everyone is wearing in New York. Do the same in Nigeria, but link her channel. Yeah, to be fair, that's an amazing idea, and I watch her channel. I wanted to do a, like, what is everyone wearing in London, but I was like, nah, I'm just gonna get roasted for, like, copying her. So I was like, nah. But I feel like in Nigeria it won't be as bad. People won't be as angry. Like, I don't want to copy people's YouTube ideas, to be fair. So yeah, that's another thing about, like, YouTube. Like, obviously she's not the first to come up with the idea, but, like, she was the first person I saw doing that. So, like, you get what I mean. Let's see. Let's keep scrolling. I'm a female and I started watching you after seeing your Vivienne Westwood and Yosi videos. Oh, okay, fair enough. I feel like I found you through looking for some streetwear videos and you're in a suggested lineup, but I can't remember which one. Fair enough. Thoughts on Jill Sander and Loewe? Loewe is not really my style. It's not really my thing. However, I'm a big fan of Jill Sander, and their Spring Summer 20 menswear show was amazing. It was so good. I think in the video I released today, I put a clip of Jill Sander's show on it. It was your How to Learn About Fashion History video. Oh, okay, fair enough. Your video was on autoplay and I followed since live after the PMOS BOF. Oh yeah, I remember that. The video, the Antop 6 brought me to your channel. How is that video doing? You know what? Because that video, I made it so long ago. Like, this is the thing about YouTube. I'll check how many videos I've made, like 100 and something probably. So at this point, I'm like, I can't really, I forget that I've made certain videos sometimes. Like, I'll see someone on the street and they'll be like, oh, yo, I watched your, like, thingy video, and I'll just remember I made that. Let's see. So I've made 147 videos. Wow, that's a lot. Alright, let's check the Antwerp 6 video. How's that doing? So it has 7,000 views. Wow, that's a lot. Let's see. Scrolling up. What's your job, or is it YouTube? It's definitely not YouTube. I can genuinely tell you how much money I earn from YouTube. So in a good month, I don't get any brand deals. Like, obviously I got one in the last video, that's rare. But on a good month from AdSense, consistently now I make about £150 a month from YouTube, and that's it. So there's no way it could be my job, because rent in London is expensive as hell. With £150, like, you wouldn't survive. No, it's definitely not my job. So I'm a content creator, digital content creator for a brand called Polones. So my role is kind of, I run their Instagram account, I take content for their Instagram account, edit photos, obviously reply to messages. They do a lot of videography works. When we have campaign shoots, like the bigger, more expensive ones, I assist on those campaign shoots. Sometimes I do stock room stuff. Yes, a lot of stuff. But yeah, my role officially is like a content creator. If you do what's everyone wearing in London, let me know in advance so I can step out of my best garms. You know what? I might have to start doing it. Do you know what I'll do? I'll message Karen. You know what? Let me write this down and ask her if I can actually do it. Because I don't want to, like, jack someone's idea. I just feel too bad. That's actually why I never did it. Because I was like, yeah, this is a good idea. Like, she does New York, I could do London. And I was like, nah. How do you store your clothes? They're in storage, literally. Because where I live now, all my clothes can't fit here. So yeah, half of my clothes are in storage, and then half of my clothes are like with me. So I pay like £30 a month to keep my clothes in storage. So yeah, expensive, but not that expensive considering the clothes that I have in storage are expensive as hell. I'd rather they're just safe in storage with insurance than like taking up space and being damaged at my house. But I literally just watched your new trend video and podcast video when this live video showed up on my feed. Yeah, that's crazy. Thoughts on Yoji Yamamoto? I'm making a video on him soon. But yeah, he's a legend. Like, thoughts. What could I say about Yoji? Anti-fashion legend. Everything he touches is gold. Y3 is gold. Wise is gold. His main line is gold. Like, I don't know. What do you want me to say? I heard the new Pologne shoot was good. Whoever did that must have been a decent photographer. Yeah. So the person who did the Pologne shoot is like Saint Laurent's photographer. So yeah, it was a legit photographer, and I assisted on that shoot. So our campaign photos were like on the London Underground and stuff, and I'm credited in that shoot. Just saying, shameless plug, but yeah, yeah. Let's see. Just write her and collab at this point. I don't deserve percentage on your next video. Point. I deserve percentage on the next video. Ha, that's jokes. Rick Owens or Raf Simons? I prefer Rick's clothes personally, and the reason is because Rick Owens is inspired by Anthony Lamista, and Anthony Lamista is my favorite designer, so that's why his aesthetic is more like my thing, and that's why I buy Rick. I don't think I've ever bought anything from Raf in my whole life. No, I haven't. I followed the Gosha video. Yo, that was long ago. That's crazy. What are your top 10 fashion brands? All right, let me write them down because that's a long question. So when you guys see it in the comment, you'll see it. So Andrew Lemista, obviously, number one. Mista, then Hussein, Chalayan. That's two. Who else? It gets really hazy after here. Obviously, Comme des Garçons and Yoji, so that makes four. Yoji, Yamamoto, K, Ninomiya. Who else? How many have I mentioned now? About 5 or 6. Let me just think of my wardrobe. Rick Owens, just based on my wardrobe. Rick Owens. I'll say Martine Rose as well, based on my wardrobe. What other brand do I like wear a lot? Kiko Kostadinov. I'd say I'll leave it at that for now. There's other people like Paria Fazane and stuff, but yeah. Yoji's my spirit animal. Excuse me for being so straight to ask. I'm just interested in your mindset about the whole part of huge brands making racist pieces, following to Alex's with like Prada, Gucci, and Loewe. Let's see. Yeah, I do have a video on this. I do have a video on that. You might want to check it out. I'm still struggling on whether or not fashion is the career choice for me. Any advice? It really depends on... Fashion is broad. You can literally be an accountant and work in fashion. So, like, it just depends what angle you tackle it from. The safer option would be studying or going into a career that's broad, like business. And then if you really want to work in fashion, do business for a fashion brand. Or like if you study accountancy, be an accountant for a fashion brand type thing. Hold on, did my camera freeze or something? Okay, I was wondering, I was like, what the hell? Did this freeze? Let's see. Sorry guys, my battery ran out. Well, it was like 20% left, so let me just plug this in real quick. All right. Dun, dun, dun. Oh. Bit of a struggle. Oh my God. This is not going to plan. Can this just stay in one place? Alright, let's see if I can find something. Okay, this should work. I hope it does. Yay! Alright, back to the questions. So, Someone said, what do you think about Solvum and Namachenko? Solvum I don't really know too much about, but someone I know, Alec, wears Solvum, and like he has a blazer from there, I think, and it's really nice. Namachenko, I'm a big fan of Namachenko. Could you consider making a video about developing style and building outfits? I feel like all the advice given around it is catered to one specific look without being personalized. Okay, yeah, facts. I could do that. I feel like I suck at having a vision for putting outfits together. Okay, fair enough. I'll make a video on this. I'll write this down. Hold on. What's your favorite piece in your collection? Oof, that's tough. I'd say my Rick jacket, only because I just bought it. So I'm kind of obsessed with it. Whereas my other stuff, I've like had it for time. I really like basics from Acne Studios, APC, etc. But do you think it's worth it, or would something from Uniqlo do? Yeah, basics from Acne Studios. That's a bit. Oof, that's a bit. You've got money. Definitely got money. Yeah, I'd say just like go Yoji and then save your money for more like statement pieces. Yoji or Margiela? Yoji, for me personally. I'd go Yoji over Margiela. New stuff from Black Friday, I didn't really get anything. This guy said, why is this pen go on my screen at 2 a.m.? Yaki, you're taking the piss. This guy said, just imagine my storage space burns down. Well, I have insurance on my clothes. So if it burns down, they're just going to have to pay me thousands of pounds, basically. He said the Yoji System magazine sold out so quickly, I didn't even get a chance. Yo, talking about that. Yo, let me show you guys something, actually. Hold on. Take you guys on a trip. So, oh, almost tripped over my charger there. So, okay, so what I was saying was that I just realized that, I don't know, internet's not working from my room right now, but basically I was going to say, I just realized that there's so many magazines I have that I don't actually read anymore. So a good idea, I thought, because like normally what I do is very unsustainable and I like just throw them away, like when I have all the information I need from them. But instead, I could actually start just giving away fashion magazines to like people. So yeah, magazines and stuff. But yeah. He said, I see some Namachenko lovers in the live chat. That's nice to hear. Let's see. Thoughts on McQueen. Have I given my thoughts on McQueen in a video before? I feel like I have. A Cold War. Oh yeah, A Cold War is one of my favorite brands as well. Sorry, I forgot. Eyes Van Herpen is wonderful. Yeah, facts. Hey, big fan. Need an autograph, bro. I'm not that famous. Like I have 16,000 subscribers. Hold on. So, how did you get into loving fashion so much, and how do you start expanding your knowledge on different designers? I'm just starting out. I was wondering if you had any tips. Thank you. I think I was just obsessed. So I read. I like read every magazine under the sun. I looked at every interview under the sun. So yeah, that's basically what it was. Are there any pieces you're afraid to wear because you love them so much? Not really. I wear my clothes till they like die. Do you think Sarah Berson's doing a good job on keeping the Queen together? Yeah, 100%. Person said sorry, bro. I was joking about the comment above. um, put me on. I need clout, bro. I don't even have clout, so I couldn't even give you clout because I don't have clout. My computer's giving me grief. I want to thank you for your kindness. I've wanted to get that Yoji magazine, but it's sold out everywhere. Did it really sell out that quickly? Because I went to Dover Street Market to get it a day after it released, and I thought it wasn't going to be in stock, but it was like still there. Let me go get it if guys don't know what we're talking about. I'm back. So, I'll show you guys what everyone's talking about. Everyone's talking about this here. So this is the new issue of System magazine, and obviously people are obsessed with it because Yoji is the front cover, which means, because normally when someone's the front cover, that's who they focus on. So they have very detailed interviews with Yoji in this, which is why you must read it. And there's like also, I've forgotten what other, because I haven't actually started reading it yet. There's like a lot of other people who got interviewed. But yeah, it's a no-brainer to get this. But apparently, it's sold out now. So yeah, when I finish reading it, I will genuinely give it away for free. I'll do a giveaway. I want to get that Yoji. I have insurance on my clothes, but you're not rich. I'm actually not. The guys need to actually stop. 10 least favorite brands: V Loan, Antisocial Social Club. Hold on, my internet is bugging right now. Let's see what these guys are saying. I started making videos in English if you guys want to check them out. What's some of the best fashion books, magazines? Books, I could go on forever. Magazines, 032C, System, ID, Vestige. That's about it. Philip Plain, Love Machine, and Michael Kors, Marcelo Bellon. That's jokes. He said, yeah, I saw a Kiko shoe review in the knit video. Just happened to randomly see it. Yeah, that's crazy. Any piece I can take inspiration for typography. Agree with some of the... Have you seen the Ralph Lauren doc on HBO? And if so, what are your thoughts? I actually haven't seen it, so I'll check that out. Do you read books? Yeah, I read books. It's not that I'm rich, but basics from Yoji and my other favourite brands are so hard to find secondhand. I'm into sustainability, so only buying secondhand at the moment. Okay, yeah, that's a really good thing. That's a good thing. I commend you for that. He said, I'll try to upload some more fashion videos in English soon. Yeah, that's dope. Whew. Has anyone got any more questions? Because after this live stream, I've got two choices. So I want to release a video today, which is the second part 2 of the video I released yesterday. Well, technically yesterday. So the video I want to release today is Fashion Trends I Hate. However, the choice I have is either to, after this live stream, to stay up, write the script, sleep, wake up, sort the video out, or to sleep first, then write the script, then edit or whatever. But there we go. I need some new online shops. Last question before I dip, not necessarily fashion related, but I see you have a good taste in music. So Princess, Nokia, or Rhapsody? That's tough, but I'll say Rhapsody. Rhapsody. Have you read the Mook magazine featuring Yoji? No, I haven't. I haven't. What are your career or even YouTube goals overall? So career-wise, I'm always even if I have 1 million subscribers in YouTube, I'll still work in the industry. I'd never like being a full-time YouTuber has never really been something I've been interested in. Obviously, if I get to a point where I can I'm getting so much money, it makes sense to be a full-time YouTuber. That's cool, but I always want to work in the industry because I'm more I want to learn skills under pressure, and I feel like if you become a full-time YouTuber, that goes out the window because now you're doing everything in your own time, and I'd rather have a boss who's telling me do this, you didn't do that right, getting criticized. Literally, what was it on Friday? I made this thing. I did this shoot, and obviously it was I was assisting this big photographer who does photography for Yves Saint Laurent, and he destroyed my photos. And at first I was taken aback, but then I was actually to be fair, he does know what he's talking about. He does have a point. So I just don't feel like you get told the truth like that, the tough truth, if you don't work in the industry, if you're just a full-time YouTuber. So yeah, that's definitely not the plan. I want, my main goal is go back to uni, study fashion journalism, become a journalist officially. On YouTube, what I do is technically journalism, but I'm not qualified. So to be an official journalist and then make my own publication, that's the 10-year goal. So yeah. He said you need to sleep. Thoughts on Misbehave? Misbehave is a hit or miss. Some stuff they make I like, some stuff they make I don't really like, but yeah. Do you like Playboi Carti or no? Do you mean his style or his music? I still can't believe there's so many people on this live stream. 37 people, that's still crazy. Ever started about thinking... Okay, let me guess. I think you meant, have you ever thought about starting your own clothing store? Not really. I have ideas fashion-wise, but being a designer is tough. It's tough, man. Once again, the brand I work for, I work closely with the designer because obviously I do all the creative stuff. So I have to make sure that it's what the designer wants. And being a designer, financially, obviously it sounds nice being a designer and stuff, but the financial costs that comes with being a designer is just out of this world. And that's the reason why there are brands I don't know, Victoria Beckham, who are spending millions, but they're still making a loss. Nah. I would rather be in a career that I love, but at the same time, I'm never going to be making a net loss, which is something like journalism. It's very easy not to make a net loss. If I made a publication, a magazine, an independent magazine, and I started selling them for £5 each, that's actually affordable. So it would probably sell out, and it wouldn't. So it's not compared to being a designer. Oh my god, garment control, fabric control. Oh, you have to pay pattern cutters, photographers. You have to pay all the transport. You have to itemize everything. It's too much. It's too much. Too much stress. It's too much. Music and style. Playboi Carti, I don't really like his style, but his music it's all right. It's not, I wouldn't say he's one of my favorite artists, but yeah. Where do you buy your clothes from? As a high school student, it's hard to afford nice clothes. Now I kind of just buy my clothes from Dover Street Market and stuff. But like before, like when I was in like secondary school and stuff, I just didn't buy luxury clothing. Like it's not by force. Like you can, what's important is that you're interested in it and you follow it, and like it inspires you. When you can afford it, then you can buy it. Like when I was younger, I was just obsessed. Now I can actually start affording things, and now I'm buying it. Like there's no rush. Essentially, is what I'm saying. Thoughts on Hookah and Solomon. Someone asked me about Solomon, so I won't talk about that. But Hookah's actually nice. There's like the Hookah ones. I really like them. I really like them. I live somewhere that doesn't have any stores that sell notable brands. How effective is only buying clothes online, and what advantages from buying clothes in store am I missing out on? Well, first thing about buying clothes in store is you can actually try it on, because there's, yes, online some people are really good with giving measurements. However, there's still some things that they won't take into account, like how wide your bicep is. There's just some things they won't take into account. And yeah, a lot of brands will give measurements. However, they won't tell you how a piece is meant to fit. So like, let's say a piece is actually made to fit oversized. Like that's how it's meant to be styled. And you're just looking at the measurements. You're like, oh, it fits. And then you buy it and it's like meant to be oversized, but it just fits you. So it looks weird and it looks strange. So that's like something you miss out on when you can only buy online. However, if it's the only option, then you're just going to have to go with that. She says, you want to be rich, rich. That's jokes. What are your thoughts around Demna leaving Vetmar, and or your overall thoughts on Demna? Sorry if you've already touched upon this. Yeah, I kind of have. Let's see. I feel like Demna Vasalia is kind of tired of Vetmar, because Demna Vasalia is like a walking contradiction. Like Demna Vasalia makes fun of fashion, but at the same time, like he's telling you how stupid fashion is by making fun of fashion. At the same time, he hates fashion, so it's like it's kind of a walking contradiction. I feel like he just got tired of the whole thing. That's just my opinion, and then he was just like, "Yeah, I'm out." I think that was what happened with Vetmar, and literally that's why when I made that video about Vetmar, I said like it's going down the pan. Like he seems like he doesn't care anymore. Like he just focuses on Balenciaga, and then like a couple months later, he left. So yeah. This guy said, I can tell this guy's from the UK. He still buy Target. He buys Target clothing. That's what he means. This guy said, like, the size of my belly. Oh my god. These guys are done out here. Oh my word. Yo, what's up? What's up? But he's still at Balenciaga. Yeah, but Balenciaga isn't made as ironically as Vetements. Any other good fashion Discord servers? Yeah, there's one that one of my friends, Jihoon runs. If you DM me on Instagram, then I'll like send you the link to that Discord chat. He said we bringing the hood to you. I can't believe this guy said it fit my bell end. This guy is an absolute joker. Fuck me. Brit, man. Absolute jokers. Anyway, what do you say? What's your thoughts on Shinya Kazuka? I really haven't looked into that brand. So you're gonna have to educate me. Can you say I'm a non-say? I don't know what that means. Have you heard of Fredo? No. Obviously, I've heard of Fredo. I live in London. This guy said my cheeks fit in nice like a and tight like a jacket potato. Alright, who are these guys? These guys are actually hilarious. Who are these guys? Bank of America, Target customer support, and who's this other Walmart customer service. Whoever these guys are actually hilarious. These guys are actually jokers. Oh my god. This guy said my cheeks fitting nice and tight like a jacket potato. Oh my word. Who do you want taking over Comme des Garçons when and if Ray retires? That's tough. Who the hell could fit in? Tao Kurihara is probably the only person who could fit Ray's shoes. Tao Kurihara, yeah, that's about the only person, really. Because she's been working under Ray for so long, I think she just gets it. Like, what would be needed if, like, Ray died. Junior Watanabe, I don't think he has the aesthetic to, like... There's no way he could design, like, a woman's wear Comme des Garçons mainline collection where I feel like Tao Kurihara could. So, yeah. Sorry, I was gone, but what's your favourite artist? If we're talking about music, Masego. What's your thoughts on Charles Jeffrey Loverboy? I actually love his clothes. Yeah, I love his clothes as well. His stuff is, like, really nice. Charles Jeffrey is really nice. Very fashion related, but you just mentioned London. London? Thoughts on Noir K Ninomiya? I love Noir. Big fan, big fan. Yeah, big fan. I literally, someone asked me earlier who my favourite top 10 designers are. And basically, Noir K Ninomiya was part of the... how did you become an admin for High Fashion Talk? I'm not an admin for High Fashion Talk. I don't know who told you that. I'm definitely not an admin for High Fashion Talk. This guy said, which one of your Cresta Tati Toyota Manans garden? This guy said, I have to urge to clap this guy's cheeks. Who are these guys? These guys are some guys who probably hop from live stream to live stream. Thoughts on Thierry Mugler? This is why I need to learn more about fashion because I loved his designs but couldn't figure out exactly why. I actually love Thierry Mugler's stuff. I'm gonna make a video, so I won't talk too much as well. It's gonna get to the point where like people are gonna ask me thoughts on this designer, and I'm just gonna like redirect you to a video. That will be when I know I've like made a lot of videos. These trolls, yikes. Yo, good night, Matthew Patton. I hope I said that properly. Oh, God, these guys are so annoying. Okay, who are these guys? Bank of America. Hold on. I'm just gonna have to hide these guys' comments because, fam, these guys are distracting from the actual conversation. Let's just hide these guys real quick. Oh, okay, is there anyone left? Those guys are actually hilarious though, but I just have to hide their comments. Right, okay, back to the live stream. And back to the fashion questions. Keep up the good work. Your in-depth fashion knowledge is admirable. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. He said, what's up? Yo, what's up? He said, GG, it was nice while it lasted. So sad, so sad. Good night. Bent Gaming. Who are all these guys? His name is Bent Gaming. Oh my word. That's jokes. Yo, what's up? I literally just went through my closet and realised I own nothing but sweaters and jeans. Fair enough. This guy's name is Bent Gaming. What the hell? Some guys on the internet are so tapped, I swear. This guy said, wait, hold on, he said, I can bend you. I can bend you over. What's it, Gordon Ramsay? Oh my word. Give you some omega-3. Nah, whoever this guy is hilarious. I can't even lie. Thoughts on fashion weeks and the fashion system in general. I don't know how I feel about fashion week. I feel like fashion week is a big pressure on fashion designers, but yeah, I don't know how. I don't know. I like it because obviously there's like a big mystique to fashion week and stuff, and but in terms of the designers, from the perspective of the designers, fashion week is not the best thing in the world, especially if you're a smaller brand, because you spend so much money to show at London Fashion Week and then no one even covers your show. Yeah, it's peak. It's peak. It's peak. I'm so glad you did a live stream and quickly became such a huge fan of your channel. It's so refreshing in comparison to some others. No offense to them, but whatever. Thanks a lot, man. Really appreciate it. Where did/do you learn about fashion? Okay, so obviously I work in the industry, so that's a big part. Then I read. So, like, read books, read magazines, different publications. And then, of course, I watch documentaries. So, yeah, it's a mixture. A big mixture. That's how I learned about fashion. I made a video about it though, so you can check that out. This Gordon Ramsay guy. Whoever's pretending to be Gordon Ramsay, don't you have to shoot like Hell's Kitchen next week or something? Let's see. How should I start to revamp my wardrobe right now? It's all over the place. So one big thing about fashion that a lot of people, and I used to make this mistake till I like sold everything I had and redid my wardrobe, is you have to buy clothing according to your wardrobe. So a lot of people see like clothing items, they're like, oh, that looks really good. That's a mistake you don't want to make. When you look at a clothing item, you have to think, does this actually fit in to my wardrobe type of thing. I kind of get from you that you think models are not important. Can you explain? What, from me? Oh no, I said models are very important. Unless maybe I like misspoke. Books about fashion and art are so expensive. Gonna have to search some documentaries and more videos on YouTube. Okay, so YouTube is not the most reliable source for information. Like, obviously, I make YouTube videos, so that's like contradictory. But like, most people don't actually do their research before they make a video. So, I'd say your best bet is like actually watching documentaries where designers say things themselves, or like there's so many documentaries about every designer. There's a documentary about Dries Van Noten, Alexander McQueen, Vivienne Westwood, Oswald Boateng, Hussein Chalayan, Martin Margiela. Like there's so many. So just watch all of those first, and you'll have a really good idea of like their background. Then read books about them after, and then after, yeah, you'll have your like own informed opinion, and then you can come back to YouTube and stuff like that. Let's see. I still have some streetwearish pieces which I just don't like, so I'm gonna just sell them. Yeah, that's a good thing. So streetwear pieces which I don't. Yeah, if you don't like some pieces that you don't, if there's some pieces, sorry, that you don't like, then definitely get rid of them, and then use that money to buy things that actually fit in your wardrobe and you personally like. But those things do have to come like hand in hand. Leon Talley and Robin Givhan, very different but great. Yeah, facts, facts. Is your A Cold War cap from the latest collection? Because I never seen it before. No, it's from. So hold on, it's here actually. It's spring summer 2015. So like I said, I've been on A Cold War forever. So yeah, literally. Not sure if you can see it, but yeah, spring summer 2015. So it's really old. That's why you wouldn't have seen it. Thoughts on Korean, Japanese fashion? Any favorite brands? I'm a big fan of Korean fashion and Japanese fashion. More so Korean fashion right now. Korean brands like Ada Era, 99% is Kanhyuk, Blindness. I'm a big fan of brands like that. In terms of Japanese fashion, it's endless. Like, yeah, there's too many brands to go through. Like Yoji, Issei, Com, um, Junya, um, Sakai. There's so many, man. Even like the more streetwear side of things, like the neighborhoods and stuff like that. Mastermind, they're deep rooted in. Um, there's even like a lot of like those Americana brands. Like a lot of Japanese fashion is inspired by Americana's aesthetic. I like those type of brands as well. Yeah, it's endless. It's endless. What's your brief opinion on fast fashion brands like Boohoo and Pretty Little Thing? I hope Boohoo runs out of business. Like, yeah, Boohoo is just the quality of Boohoo is so bad. Like, you can literally only wear that stuff once. Like environmental wise, it's just so terrible. Like, I just hope it just disappears from existence. Like Boohoo and Pretty Little Thing, just nah. If you have a lot of black slash monochromatic clothing, would you step outside the zone? Yeah, it's possible. Most of my clothes are black, but it doesn't deter me from buying a really colorful piece once in a while. So, yeah. You think the upcoming designers can in the future be as big as the current major fashion houses? Possibly. Possibly. There's some brands that I feel like could get there. Kiko is on his way. Craig Green is on his way. Um, who else is kind of getting to like becoming a big fashion house? Um, there's not many of them, but there's some I can see. I feel like A Cold Wall is on its way. A Cold Wall did massive numbers last year, huge numbers, like financially. So yeah, I feel like a couple of brands are getting there. Do you think Gosha should make a comeback? He tried to make a comeback. He had that thing. What was it called? GR Uniforma. I'm not sure how that went, but I saw the clothing. It looked quite nice, but I guess yeah, no one really talked to him. I talked about him after that. What do you think about the Kardashians and Kanye 2024? They're just, yeah. Kanye is a funny guy. Everyone keeps asking me about Haute Mode. What do you think about Haute Mode? I like Haute Mode. Haute Mode's actually subscribed to this channel, by the way. So I know he watches my videos. Um, I like him. I don't agree with all his opinions, but I do like him. And because his channel's so big, what I love is that there's a channel way bigger than mine that's educating people about fashion. So, because that's what we all want. The whole reason I made a channel was not to get big or to get famous or to get clout. It was because I saw that people weren't talking about designers I liked, and people weren't talking about up and coming designers. If people ever talked about designers, it was always like who is Cristobal Balenciaga and shit like that. It was never who is Dao Yang Ding who just graduated from CSM. So yeah, I kind of thought there was a hole in the market. Until now, no one does that. I'm like the only person that does stuff like that. So yeah. Um, your current favorite brands: Andy Minamista, Andy Minamista, and Andy Minamista. What are your thoughts on the hiker trend going on right now? There's a hiker trend. I didn't even know that. Michael Tandy, yo, what's up? Can you write some of the Korean brands you mentioned earlier? I didn't catch most of them. Okay, so Kang Hyuk, um, blindness, error, 99% is, yeah. Thoughts on Owen Hyatt? I feel like he has a nice style. He's like the archival guy, isn't he? I've watched some of his videos. Yeah, his style's alright. I don't really have an opinion on Owen. I like don't really watch him much. Do you think fashion history is important for everyone? Yeah, of course. History is important in general. It's like asking, do you think history in general is important? Like it just yeah, you have to in fashion you have to know the impact of designers that came before you, and you have to know what they influence and where their influences are coming from. It gives you more perspective, and it helps you understand what's going on currently in fashion. So like because I've studied Anti Millimista for so long, I understand completely every single thing that Rick Owens does, for example. So if I didn't have the perspective of Andy Millimista who inspires Rick Owens, then I wouldn't understand Rick Owens as much as I do. So yeah, fashion history is important. Very, very, very important. Hikatron, I think it's just the hookah salmon utility wear like Craig and Kiko. Oh, okay. Yeah, I like that trend. Pierre Moss is killing it. Yeah, facts. Moalola thoughts. I'm a big fan of Moalola. Obviously, I'm Nigerian, so I'm very in touch with what every single Nigerian designer is doing, like in the mainstream. And yeah, I love her clothing. It's not the most wearable stuff though, but I do like it. He said, "Don't have an opinion." I remember when I was roasted for the same statement, shaking my head. Oh my god, that's jokes. Do you discover brands mostly just by reading around? To be fair, like, there's so many ways of discovering brands. Like, I can literally discover a brand by. I discover a new way I discover brands is by shopping. So I'll like go to DSM or something and I'll be like going through the stores and I'll just see a new brand I've never heard of that they stock. And I'll be like, what brand is this? I'll like write it down on my phone, and when I get home, I'll do like a lot of research on the brand. That's how I find out about a lot of brands. Sometimes I go through like Vogue Runway just like casually, just when I'm bored, and then I see loads of brands that I've never heard of before. Then I look into the brands. Then there's some brands that like I've heard of, like in the pipelines, but I just like don't look into them. And then one day I'm just like, oh, let me look into this brand. So many different ways. Um, do you think big brands like Balenciaga and Gucci are targeting a mainstream audience in their runway shows compared to other brands? I don't think any brand really targets a mainstream audience in a runway show because the mainstream doesn't even look at runway shows in the first place. Wine drunk thinking about Bodhi jackets. Did you buy anything on Black Friday? No, because before Black Friday, there was a Dover Street Market private sale that was 40% off, so I copped a Rick Owens jacket. Then and before then I copped an Andy Lamista sweater, and then before then I copped the Arquette boots that were in my latest video. So yeah. And I'm not like rich enough yet to just like when Black Friday comes, I can just like cough out loads of money. I usually discover brands when I go on the sale page of websites. Yeah, exactly. That's a good way to find out brands. Thoughts on CCP? Wow, I get this question like 50 times every live stream. I'm a big fan of CCP. The only thing I don't like is the community around CCP, like the fan base. I just can't stand CCP stands. Do you think Jack Moose is overrated? No, not really. Not really. Um, wow, there's still 30 people in live stream. That's crazy. Crazy, crazy. He said, fact, CCP fan base is horrible. Please make more vids with your sister. I lost it when she said Mamamoto. When I go to Nigeria, obviously I'm going with my sister, so we can make some videos. You just have to remind me, like, tell me what videos you want, maybe on Instagram or whatever, and I'll write them down so I can remember. Do you like PAQ? I don't watch PAQ, but like I like what they do though, and like their production quality is through the roof. Hopefully one day PAQ invites me onto the show. That's never gonna happen. My channel's too small for that. Bro, can you just admit that Hortland Mode is trash because he is? But how is Hortland Mode trash? Like how? Let's actually have this discussion, like seriously. And you guys know I don't like what's the word? If I don't like someone, look, okay, I don't hate anyone. That's the wrong word to use. If I don't respect what someone does, I would say it. Like, what is realistically what is the person gonna do? Just genuinely, I don't have an issue with Hortland Mode. Like, why do you think he's trash? I have a pair of CCP drips, but I don't want to post it on Insta because I get roasted by CCP fans. That's jokes. Do you follow stylists to find new brands? No. The only stylist-ish person I follow on Instagram is IB Kamara, but even he's not really a stylist, is he? He's like the chief editor for ID. So yeah. Thoughts on Afeek's works? Big fan of Afeek's works. I like their A6 collab recently. Well, it wasn't that recent, but yeah, I like it. Yeah, big fan. Get them greedy. Wait, who's he talking to? Oh, get PAQ greedy. Lol, that's jokes. Yeah, if I was invited to PAQ, then that my channel would go mainstream, which would be very nice. But yeah, that's not gonna happen. PAQ is at the point where because they're trying to get to like 1 million subscribers, so they're only going to work with celebrities like Lil Baby and stuff like that. The only YouTuber I think they work with is Magnus, and that's not really work with. It's just like he's just part of their community type thing. Do you like Kith? I don't. To be fair, I don't really know much about Kith, to be honest. So I can't really give you detailed opinions. Okay, so she said follow Jess Will and Purdy Cat. All right, so Jess Will Instagram. Insta. Jess Will. So I'm guessing she must be a stylist, right? Let me just log into my Instagram real quick. Alright, so Jess Will. I can't find this Jess Will person. Anyway, he can't even pronounce what ut couture. What does he call himself? Haute le mode. Yeah, that's why I call him that. It's actually Ut, but anyway. Has almost zero knowledge of fashion industry. His only knowledge comes from Instagram and Wikipedia. Um, why would you say that? That's just not true, though. That's not true, though. I feel like, okay, so with Hortland Mode, what I don't like, not even about him or anything, what I don't like is like, I feel like his audience is the type of audience that he could teach about fashion, but instead he chooses to just talk about the red carpet stuff. I prefer his videos that's more um like I don't know, what's the one he made recently? I think it was about McQueen or someone. I really like that video. That video is amazing. But yeah. So that's what I will say. But apart from, I don't think his information only comes from Instagram, Wikipedia. Nah, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't go that far. I feel like Hortland Mode reads books. Let's see. Thoughts on Chanel since Carl's death. If you could appoint a new CD there, who would it be? Phoebe Philo. Because it's not working right now. Is it? It's not working. What do you think about 44 clothes? I haven't looked into 44, but I know it's like a streetwear-y brand, I think. Like high-end streetwear. What do you say? The guy probably hates Hortland Mode because of his demeanor. He trashes everybody and sounds sassy as fuck. Some people dislike that, but I find it hilarious. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. He said, I don't even know who this guy is. Okay, so if you guys don't know who we're talking about, his channel's called Le Mode. He's probably the biggest. He has the biggest fashion commentary channel on YouTube, I think. I'd like to believe so. I agree with that. Hortland Mode's educational videos are good. His roasts are over the top, but they get views. Yeah, that's why I can't hate, because I understand it. Like, I'm not sure if he does YouTube full time or not. I know he was or probably is still a student at FIT. But I think he wants to go full time YouTube. And yeah, if you want to go full time on YouTube, at some point you're gonna just have to do what gets views. And for him, it's reacting to the AMAs or reacting to the VMA outfits or reacting to Met Gala outfits, which is fair enough. I get it. To be fair, I get it. Like I totally get it. From a YouTuber to another YouTuber, if he's trying to go full time, he won't survive getting my kind of views, getting like 1,000 views, spending a month on a video about the Urban Nuts category of the Business Fashion Awards. So what I do is very illogical from a financial standpoint. But yeah. That's just me giving you the perspective of like a YouTuber. Thoughts on Capital? Big fan. It's kind of played out though now. Everyone like copies Capital these days as well. So, Luke's McQueen vid is actually why I subscribe to him, but he doesn't make any vids like that, which is disappointing. Good thing I found your channel. Yeah, facts. Bruh, his vids looks corny as. This guy said his vids look corny. That's crazy. What do you do in your free time? Well, as a part-time job, I'm a photographer and a videographer. So yeah, I guess I can say I do that in my free time. I also play basketball. So yeah, if you check out my personal channel, I've got like a few vids here and there of me playing basketball. Yeah, that's it basically. That's all I do. Basketball, videography, and then read fashion books and stuff like that. That's it. But this is what I need to read. Like I was saying, haven't read this yet, and this is so sought after. So I feel so bad. Like, there's so many people who like want this bad. And when I was like flicking through this though, one of my favorite guys, Ibi Kamara, he like did a whole thing in this. I'm trying to remember where it was. He had like a whole spread. Yeah, Ibi Kamara. If you don't know who the guy I'm talking about is, he's like the editor-in-chief of ID magazine. And he's kind of like a visual stylist, kind of like, he's an all-in-one person. But yeah, it was really cool to see his like editorial and stuff. Because he styles things in a very African-y way, which I really like. But yeah, I'm going a bit off topic now. He said, peace, my G. Yo, peace. What fashion documentaries would you recommend watching? Definitely the McQueen documentary. Like, I'm not sure if you have Netflix, because Netflix is like so easy to get. I'll just show you on Netflix like what documentaries are available, and then yeah, we can take it from there. So, all right, let me just switch the camera over so you can see what I'm talking about. So basically, we have the McQueen doc. So this one here. What's this one? This one's probably the best fashion documentary I've ever watched. So this one. Then after, you can watch the Dries Van Noten one. And the reason why you want to watch the McQueen's one is because it goes, like, they talk about a lot of stuff in it. This Dries Van Noten one, yes, they talk about Dries mainly, but they also touch on the whole Antwerp 6 and, like, Belgian fashion in general. So this is a really good one to watch. Then there's, like, loads of other ones, like, hold on, let me go to my list real quick. It's, like, quite a few here. What was the one I was about to watch the other day? I'm trying to remember what it was. But yeah, also on YouTube, actually, while I'm at it, you can watch this documentary called Anti-Fashion in the 90s. That's probably the best documentary on, like, YouTube. Let's see, Anti-Fashion in the 90s. There we go. So this is probably the best 55 minutes of your time on YouTube you'll ever spend. So yeah, I'd say start with those ones. Actually, watch the Anti-Fashion one first, then watch McQueen and watch Dries, and then when you're done with those, come back to me. Oh my days, so hard to balance. Stay. There we go. All right, back to the questions. When did you start liking / wearing monochrome clothing? So, my entry into fashion was Yoji. Like, Yoji was like the first high-end fashion designer I ever knew. Like, apart from like Louis Vuitton and all the ones that everyone knows. So, like, I had no hope. I was always gonna wear black. And then from Yoji, so how I started learning about fashion, let me just put it this way. I learned about Yoji from one of my friends who was like really into fashion. And then I went out of my way to like find out more about Yoji, reading all these books, watching documentaries, everything I could find. Then I found out about Issey Miyake and Rei Kawakubo. Then I looked into Rei, which was long as hell. Then I looked into Issey, and then after those three, I went back in time and I started to find out who were like the Japanese designers before the Japanese big three. Like, who are the Japanese designers who were doing big things before Rei, Issey, and Yoji came to prominence. And then that's how I found Kansai Yamamoto and people like that who came way before even like Yoji, Issey, and Rei. And then I thought, so apart from Japanese fashion, like, there must be other fashion out there. There must be pioneers in like a lot of different countries. So then I started being interested in what's the fashion scene in all these like fashion capitals like Milan, Paris, England, and New York. So that's how I started going into the archives. I started looking into people like Cristobal Balenciaga, Yves Saint Laurent, um, Martin Margiela. Then, of course, Martin Margiela, even though he's a Belgian designer, when I was looking into the Parisian designers, he kind of came into like what I was researching. And it was Martin Margiela that led me into researching Belgian designers. And then I found Anthony Lemista, who, out of all the designers I've looked into and researched, her aesthetic and the way she designs and everything about her just, for me, resonates with me the most, which is why she's my favorite designer. But yeah, going back into my long story, so yeah, I started reading into the famous Antwerp Six, Dirk van Sané, Dirk Beekenberg, Dries van Noten, Walter van Barendonk, Anthony Lemista, Marina Yee. And after that, of course, there's other Belgian designers in there. You've got your Heider Ackermans of the world. You've got your Chris Van Ashes. Then, obviously, different countries as well. So you have to, Milan, like you have to look into people like Miuccia Prada. Then you have to look into the people like, so when we talk about anti-fashion, for example, people always think of like Ray, Yoji, Issei, but like people forget about people like Hussein Chalayan. People forget about Azzuddin Alaya, who I had to look into as well. And then there's also, so in the 90s, people always think about, so this is how deeply I research stuff. I'm getting really geeky on you guys, but I hope you guys appreciate me talking about this stuff. But basically, in the 80s and 90s was when anti-fashion was coming into prominence. However, in the 90s, tailoring was also a big thing. So before, tailors were only like in Savile Row and places like that. They would only just like have high class clients. They would never have a runway show. It was like frowned upon for a tailor to have a runway show. But in the 90s, tailoring became big, and that's when we saw people like Armani come to prominence. Oswald Burton came into prominence, and those were when that's when like suits, different fancy suits in different colors and different materials. That's when that became a thing in fashion. So basically, what I did was I started researching all these different designers, and when you research all these different designers, you learn about all the different trends, when they happened, why they happened, what led to it, and even before like anti-fashion, if we think of people like Vivienne Westwood, who like 70s and 80s kind of did her own anti-fashion with the punk rock scene before the real anti-fashion gods of Ray, Yoji, and those lot came. So I could go on. I could literally go on, but that's basically the timeline of how I like started learning about fashion. That's why Anthony Lemisa is my favorite designer, basically. But yeah, I could continue my story if you want, but now I have to answer more questions on the live stream. What type of music do you listen to? I listen to all types of music, literally every genre. Since when are you into fashion? I've been into fashion since I was about 16. Now I'm 22, so that's 6 years. What hypebeast brand were you into during your hypebeast phase, if you had one? I never really had a hypebeast phase. I used to wear Supreme and Palace, but it wasn't like it was more because I actually used to skate. So there was a time I was obsessed with skating. So I used to wear Supreme and Palace when I used to skate. It wasn't like wearing Supreme and Palace to flex type of thing. I actually used to be a skater. So it's a bit different. How do you feel about Kanye West? Like, do you listen to his music and him as a person? Yeah, I like Kanye West's music. Always have. He's like a legend music-wise. However, I just think he's a bit of a confused guy. I just think he's a bit confused. If you got a free £1,000 fashion voucher, what items would you buy right now? Anthony Lemista Vitello backlacing boots, straight up. And Roadman as a fashion icon and one who breaks rules. What do you think about Dennis Rodman? Oh, Rodman. Oh, I like him. He's a crazy guy. he's probably the first guy to like dress the way he does, and like people still look at him as a masculine guy. Yeah, he's crazy. I like his work. I like him because he's so unique and individual to himself, and I wish everyone was like that. I wish everyone just dressed or expressed themselves how they really wanted to. But yeah. What do you say? I appreciate you getting geeky and thank you for your work. I got to go. Yeah, thank you very much. He said, just already proposed to Anti Willemista. Bro, Anti Willemista, she's too old for me. This guy said my parents in the frame. Alright, let me just twist that here. Oh. This guy said proposed to Andy. That's an old woman, bro. A very old lady. With kids. What do you think of Kanye's Yeezy season? I like it actually. And so Kanye doesn't get the credit he deserves because do you know how many people copied Kanye's designs? Like when he came out with the Yeezy season? Because it's Yeezy though. What do you think of some of the worst trends of 2019? I can't tell you that because the next video is literally the worst fashion trends. So yeah, just stay tuned for that video. But yeah, going back into my geeky phase because I've seen like the questions are getting less. Where did I stop? Yeah, so I was talking about Vivienne Westwood coming before like Ray and those guys. And yeah, then obviously if we're talking about like new school, there's all types of different designers. So you've got people like Rick Owens who took over from where Ray, Issei, Andy, Yoji left off. So you have Rick. Then you have Craig Green, who kind of took over from where Margiela left off. Then you have Kiko, who's kind of just a fusion of many designers. Then there's always like what was I gonna say again? There's always the commercial person in every era. So like in the 90s it was Armani. Now it's like Kim Jones. So Kim Jones is like the Armani. Kim Jones is the Armani of our current time. Who else can I talk about? Who else can I be geeky about that I've looked into? There's just many designers. I actually have a spreadsheet of like designers I need to constantly look into, so I can like open it up right now. Hold on. It should be here somewhere. So there we go. I didn't even talk about McQueen. Or John Galliano, for example. Oof, yeah, a lot of people I haven't talked about. Yeah, McQueen, absolute legend. Like the thing about McQueen as well is just I don't think guys understand how like good of a designer McQueen is. Like, do you know? Is like you have to work in fashion to understand how hard it is to make patterns, and the fact that like McQueen was so good at making patterns that people used to like if they wanted to make something unique, they would call McQueen specifically to make a pattern. That puts into perspective why he could make the type of things he made. Like, yeah, McQueen is just crazy. And who else was I gonna talk about? Thierry Mugler. Yep, you have to know about Thierry Mugler historically. There was someone who was asking me about why it's important to know fashion history. This is why, because, okay, someone like Thierry Mugler, for example, his famous designs were things like the corsets, and the way he used to design, it inspires loads of people. And now when you see people doing similar, designing corsets in similar ways, you're like, oh yeah, that's like inspired by Mugler. Whereas if you don't have that perspective, you're going to be overly wowed by like something that has already been done. But yeah. Yeah, this new school wise though, there's like a lot of people say like fashion is dead. I feel like that's just such BS. Like there's so many good designers right now. Like Craig Green, Rick Owens, Charles Jeffrey, like Loverboy, Kiko Kostadinov, Christopher Kane, Simone Rocha, Molly Goddard, Kei Ninomiya, Junya Watanabe, Taha Kurihara. There's just so it's just endless. Like, it's so funny when I hear people say things like, "Oh, fashion is dead." I feel like that's a very. I feel like the type. Of, this is gonna sound very offensive, but the type of guys that say fashion now is dead. Oh, I want to go back to the '80s of anti-fashion. I feel like people that say stuff like that just finished watching like a documentary on anti-fashion and now think like fashion is dead without even knowing like majority of all the good designers that are out right now, like Famito Ganryu, or like people like who else is like someone I've been looking at? Richard Quinn. I talked about him in the Genius video I made. Richard Quinn, he's definitely someone to watch. And then also talking about fashion history, actually, going back into my geekiness, the fashion industry. Let's talk about the Americans, because I've talked about, the Parisians and the Italians and the I haven't talked well, I talked about Vivienne Westwood, but yeah, I can get more into like the Brits. But the Americans are so slept on. Like, a lot of people say American fashion is dead. There's not history in American fashion. Yet, like, obviously there's people like Tommy Hilfiger and Ralph Lauren who obviously are legends in this game. Then there's also, if we're talking about the more high-end side of things, let's talk about Gucci. So Gucci as a brand, so what happened was Gucci was dying. Literally, Gucci sales-wise was in turmoil. And when Tom Ford came, like, Gucci was like going down the pan. And Tom Ford came and kind of turned the Gucci upside down, and Gucci was kind of similar to what it is now under Alexander Mukele, but worse. It's kind of like this maximalist brand that had no real direction, and Tom Ford came and made it more chic. And that was when Gucci kind of became more associated with higher up people, like upper class, because of how chic the designs were. And he kind of refined the designs, and that's when Gucci sales came back up. And I feel like Tom Ford doesn't get credit, because when people think of Tom Ford now, people think of like Tom Ford bags, like those ones that you find in like your average like Ross store, or like your your designer discount store. That's literally Tom Ford's legacy now. And I don't want people to forget kind of what he did at Gucci and stuff like that. And then talk about Michael Kors as well. Michael Kors, when people think of Michael Kors, they think of kind of like the same thing, Michael Kors bags that everyone has. However, once again, Michael Kors, if you know your history, was the first ready-to-wear designer for Celine. So I'm tired of people saying, "Oh, Phoebe Philo, Celine." She's not the only person that has designed at Celine. Like, Michael Kors was there before her, and his aesthetic at Celine was totally different to hers. And his aesthetic to Celine looks more like what Adi Slimane makes, which is why I don't like getting into arguments with people that don't actually read up on fashion history, because, like, every time I say I've changed my mind on Adi Slimane Celine, I really like what he does now, because he's actually taken inspiration from Celine before it was even a ready-to-wear brand. Like, Celine just when it was like in a boutique, like when it wasn't actually, they weren't doing ready-to-wear shows, they went on the runway. And that is the exact same thing that Michael Kors did. So Phoebe Philo kind of was just the person who had the longest reign. So people associate the Celine aesthetic with her. But yeah, that's just another thing to note. So Michael Kors, once again, I don't like that his legacy is like the discount bags that you buy at Ross. Go some more Americans. Tom Brown, amazing avant-garde designer. When people think of Tom Brown, they think of like just the suits with like the 3 colored stripes and stuff. But no, look at any Tom Ford show, not Tom Ford, Tom Brown show, sorry, and he has been like attacking gender norms for years, and his silhouettes are crazy. They're amazing. So yeah, that whole thought about American fashion being dead, once again, bull. It's just BS. This is BS. It's a very uneducated opinion to say that American fashion is dead and it has no history. And then who else can I talk about? Marc Jacobs. Marc Jacobs was he was the first ready to wear, if I'm not mistaken, he was the first ready to wear designer at Louis Vuitton. So that's some more history for the Americans. And then who else can I think of? Even like more recent times, like Hood by Air, Shane Oliver. A lot of people think of Hood by Air as like a very watered down, like streetwear-y brand. However, Hood by Air is actually amazing, and Hood by Air inspired what people at the higher fashion brands were doing. They just weren't given credit because I don't know. Maybe it's because they're black. Maybe it's because they're not. I don't want to get hella political, but that could play into why people see it as like a streetwear brand when like it's literally avant-garde. But yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, that's me geeking out on some more fashion history for you guys. Going back to the questions, person says the tiny bag trend is annoying as hell. Yes, it's so annoying. What type of jackets do you prefer for autumn winter? Parkas, overcoats, puffers. Yeah, that's about it. Do you think Instagram is bad for the fashion industry? Not necessarily. It just depends on who you follow. You can follow guys like Gallux, no shade, or you can follow guys like IB Kamara, who's like a stylist and the chief exec of ID magazine. So it's not really bad. It's like the internet. The internet, you can like search for how to murder someone, or you can search for how to learn how to like, I don't know, revive someone if they fainted or something. It's the same thing. So I wouldn't say Instagram is like bad for the fashion industry. I checked out Loic Prigent and loved his videos. Do you have any suggestions? Any other suggestions? Yeah, Loic's videos are amazing. I'm glad you checked them out. Who else can I recommend when it comes to the only people I personally know of that make like if you want to learn about the fashion industry and like high-end fashion, really on YouTube, like outside of like styling, is me, Bliss Foster, Haute Le Mode, and Loic Prigent. That's it. As far as I'm aware. Um, let's see. Have you looked into the jewelry brand Parts of Four, and what are your thoughts? I've never heard of that brand. Um, let's see. But he was also successful because of the models. Oh yeah, true. That's true. And Tom Ford had at Gucci had some insane campaign. All right, let me show you guys. So there's a video I'm gonna make that's like the craziest fashion commercials of like all time, and you guys need to see this Gucci campaign. Oh my word. Hold on. This is hilarious. Let me show you guys this. He had some insane campaigns, yeah. So this is like one of his most famous campaigns where like they got like pubic hair and they shaved it into like a G, and that was like a huge talking point at the time, like when he did that. So yeah. Oh, here we go, the balance problems again. Yeah. So yeah, that was jokes. Back to the question. Do you watch Kaylee and Avery? Oh yeah, I forgot Kaylee has a YouTube fashion channel. Let me subscribe to that now. I definitely watch Avery, like I'm subscribed to him, but he barely posts. He posts like one video like a month. Like it's crazy. Kaylee Mackenzie. How am I not subscribed to her? What happens? That's crazy. I must have unsubscribed by mistake. Yeah, I definitely watch them, if that answers your question. Deborah Shaw, ETC from Mugler, Battle of Versailles. Yep. One last question is Queen and Slim. Do you know about that trailer? No, I actually don't. Tom Brown and Marc Jacobs are my favorite designers. Yeah, they're amazing designers. So yeah. How tall are you? 6'3". Favorite trend of the year: chunky sneakers and derbies. No, not chunky sneakers. Chunky boots and derbies. Do you like Helmut Lang? Yes, 100%. Do you want anything from the 15 years DSM anniversary? Not really. There's some stuff I like, but like I can't really buy anything. I don't really have the money for it. So yeah. Also, if you meet Kanye, what would you say? I would tell him that I want to work for him, like fashion wise. That's what I tell him. This person says, "What's good, Archive? Yo, what's up? Is Archive really worth it, or does it vary by brand?" It varies by brand. It varies by brand. Archive really, when it comes to Archive, things are only as expensive as like people hype things up to be. So it depends. Like someone like me, my favorite brand is Anti Milanista, and Anti Milanista Archive pieces aren't that expensive because they're not hyped. So I guess that's lucky for me. Whereas Raf Simons, they're going to be in the same condition, but because the Riot Bomber is so hyped, you're going to buy it for like 40,000 or like something crazy like that. So it just depends. What do you say? Surprised you haven't heard of Parts of Four since I always see it associated with Rick Owens. Yeah, I actually haven't heard of it. Let me Google it. Hold on. Parts of Four. Is it like some avant-garde jewelry brand or something like that? Their website looks terrible though. Damn, this is awful. What is this font? They need to hire me to like design their website. My word. And it's high-end. Whoa, this is some expensive jewelry. Yeah, it is avant-garde jewelry. Oh, this looks quite cool. They need to, like, this website is disgusting. They need to upgrade this website. But yeah, the actual jewelry looks amazing. This is crazy stuff. Rocky killed HBA, quote unquote. What's the first design that comes to mind when you think of brands that have gotten better over time? For me, the first thing that comes to my head is Celine because I didn't like Ali Saman's first collection at Celine, but ever since then, I've liked every collection. So, like when I think of like improvements from a personal standpoint, not necessarily like I'm saying he improved or he didn't, but what I prefer, I'd say Celine is the first thing that comes to mind. I saw your vid and you mentioned that Prada started the chunky shoe trend. Don't you think a leak started it? I remember they were doing it with their Vibram collab. You're forgetting that the Prada show that I showed was the Fall Winter 2019 Prada show. So that's quite some time ago. And more people are wearing the Prada chunky shoes than the Leaks ones. He said chunky shoe trend came from Raf. Chunky sneaker trend, yes. Chunky boots and derbies, no. Because people are making chunky derbies even before Oswego's and stuff like that. Like, genuinely. Comme des Garçons had some pairs before Oswego's. Like, chunky shoes, like derbies and stuff like that. Like, high platform derbies. A lot of Japanese brands used to do stuff like that. Like, footwear like that. He said, I'll go to sleep now. Thanks for answering questions. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much. Dad's shoe came from Raf. Yeah. So what came from Raf is that, like, chunky sneaker trend. So, like, the Balenciaga Triple S, the, like, Gucci Rython sneakers. That was all from Raf. Like, what else is, like, part of this trend? But then an argument can be made that the RAF trend doesn't happen without the McQueen sneakers that came out before the Oswegos. Because I remember I used to wear the McQueen sneakers in like sixth form, like ages ago. Ages, like years ago. And people were like, what the hell are you wearing? Why is a guy wearing platform sneakers? And now everyone wears it. Great. You said chunky shoe sneaker came from Demna Triple S. Nah, I think the Oswego was popular enough before the Triple S that we can say that Demna probably saw the Oswego and then did his own take on it, which was the Triple S. I feel like just that, like, the most famous chunky sneaker is the Triple S. So yeah. He said, what do you think of some cool Japanese brands worth looking into that aren't overhyped? Noir, Kane and Amir, definitely, and Village, amazing, world level, world class. Who else? Who else can I talk about? That isn't hype though, so I can't say like the likes of Comme des Garçons and stuff. Yeah, Kane and Amir, Sakai is coming along-ish. Yeah, Noir, Kane and Amir is like the first person that comes to mind. Kind of gone blank. I have to think about Japanese designers. I'll come back to you on that one. He said, no, McQueens were popping in 2015. Oswego's were big in 2014. Yeah, so Oswego's were big in 2014. However, I was wearing McQueens before Oswego's were big. So, like, I'm saying the McQueens existed before the Oswego's. That's the thing. Do you have the Japanese brands pinned? Oh, no, I don't actually. My bad. Do you think Fenty has improved? I know you see the brand as mediocre, but I actually quite like Rihanna's newest collection, to be honest. I love your vids, by the way. Whoa, I don't... I don't think it's mediocre. That's a bit harsh. I just feel like it's overhyped. Like, she sees herself as, like, some runway designer when really she's designing expensive Zara. That's basically what I think. But, improved? I don't know about that. I don't know about that. The man behind Engineer Garments. Currently, what styles of footwear do you prefer for your own wardrobe? Well, recently, I've not worn sneakers at all. So, yeah. I literally wear derbies and boots all the time. The Arquette boots I got recently, I've worn them like 2 weeks straight. So, yeah. What do you think of number 9? To be honest with you, I don't know too much about number 9. I don't. Like, a lot of people ask me that question. I can't really give you an opinion. I actually don't know that much about number 9. What I do know about number 9 is people hold it in a high regard, and I think it's like one of those like OG Japanese streetwear brands, and I don't know why people hold it in such a high regard, which I will have to look into at some point when I have the time. Rust sneaker with that silver lining on the sole is underrated in my opinion. Oh, the Detroit runner, the Detroit sneaker, yeah, very underrated. I prefer those to like a lot of Rust sneakers that people get. The Detroit sneakers. It's just that I can't buy them because there's so many things I'll get before them. But yeah, those are definitely underrated. I agree with you on that. What do you think about the Soloist? Oh, I love the Soloist. The only problem with the Soloist is that price point. That price point. Jeez. But yeah, big fan of the Soloist though. You heard of Neighborhood Tokyo? Yeah, I know about Neighborhood. I've heard in general that Japanese denim is like crazy. And I'm planning to go to Japan in the summer. With Bay. So yeah. We'll see what's going on in Japan. But yeah, when I go to Japan, I'm definitely looking into getting denim because I've heard their denim is like next level. Dun, dun, dun. I was wondering why my laptop wasn't charging. Hold on. Here we are. So, someone asked me thoughts on number 9. Literally, someone just asked me. I don't know much about number 9, so I can't even give you an opinion. Sorry. How is Japanese denim different? So it's the way it's not like denim is denim. What makes materials in different countries better than the other is the way they process it. So Japanese just has the best facilities available, like the best denim mills and stuff like that, and the best machinery for that. So that's what makes Japanese denim the way it is. And because they've had the best equipment for so long, people are especially trained in using this specialist equipment. So yeah, it's a ripple effect. But denim is denim though. It's more how it's processed, like stuff like that. He said, "What time is it there?" It's 4 a.m. basically. So I'm literally about to hop off this live, go to bed, wake up, write the script, make this video, post it today, tonight. He said, "My bad, just got on." Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. He said, "Do you like distressed clothing?" No. Well, actually, that's a lie. I like distressed clothing that isn't holes. So I like where, like, I have this Anti-Vietnamese sweater where, like, the edges of the sleeve is, like, frayed. That's the kind of distressing I like, not, like, actual holes. But I don't mind things being frayed, things having rough surfaces, if that counts as being distressed. But yeah, I don't do holes. That new Prada Adidas could possibly be worse than Off-White Undercover. It's not. It's definitely worse than Off-White Undercover. That Prada Adidas collab is shocking. Terrible. Yeah. Anyway, guys, it is 4 a.m. Thank you for hopping on the live. I hope you learnt something. If not, I'm sorry. But yeah, I'm about to leave this live stream. Appreciate all the guys that watch my videos. Like genuinely, like I'm actually being serious. Like, my channel doesn't exist without viewers, so I always appreciate people. And I try my best to stay active. I feel like I reply to absolutely everyone, and I reply to all my comments as well. So, yeah. Hopefully, I'll never get to the point where I can't do that. But, yeah, stay tuned. Next video is fashion trends I hate. It's probably going to be a long video because there's a lot of fashion trends I don't like, from feeler disruptors to finger accessory bags to other things. But yeah. Anyway, I'll be out. Wait, let me just answer these questions real quick. He said, "Have you seen the Undercover Arts and Crafts collection?" No, I haven't. He said, "You killed it. Do you keep up the work? Thank you. Great live stream." Yeah, thank you very much. And I'm out.